Hey y'all, No here. Well, it's almost Christmas, and I can say that because even if you're watching this in the summertime, uh, we really don't know exactly what day Jesus was born on. December 25th was just a date that the Roman Emperor Constantine picked to celebrate the birth of Christ. So I'm actually recording this on Christmas Eve. But whatever time of year you see this video, if you happen to stumble upon it, today could be Christmas no matter what day it is. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. You know, Christmas for most people is really a time of peace and joy. A lot of people allow it to be a time of pressure and busyness and things like that too. But we can choose for it not to be that way. But a lot of people don't have a choice about how they feel about Christmas. And what I mean by that is, yes, for most people, Christmas is a time of peace and joy. But for some people, Christmas brings along a lot of baggage. And for some people, Christmas is not a time of peace and joy, although they would like for it to be. Now, I heard a lady that was interviewed on the news a couple of nights ago. And last year, her husband was on his way home for Christmas, and somebody pulled up beside him on the interstate and shot him. And they still don't know who murdered her husband. And so for this lady and her children, they would very much like for Christmas to be a time of peace and joy. But because of what happened around the time of Christmas last year, they just can't manage to feel that way. And, you know, I don't know why it is, but it seems like a lot of people, whether they're murdered like her husband was, or because it's just their time to go. But it seems like a lot of people die during December and around Christmas time. My dad actually died on December 13th. And I remember very well the year that he died of cancer. We didn't even celebrate Christmas that year at all because we just couldn't. And, you know, there are lots of people like that. And, you know, for a lot of people, it's a burden during Christmas time. And it can be a time of sadness for people, a time of stress. And, you know, the thing is, we're being herded into this virtual world called YouTube or TikTok, Instagram, whatever social media site it is. There's so much pressure to live in this perfect virtual world that really doesn't exist. And it seems like everybody wants to live in that world, because in that virtual world, there are no problems, there's no pain, and nothing bad ever happens. But the truth is, that world's imaginary, it's not real. But because so many people want to live in that world, they tend to hide what's going on inside of them, especially around Christmas time. But all during the rest of the year too. And after I saw that interview of the lady whose husband was killed, I started thinking about the old saying that goes, you never know how somebody really feels until you walk a mile in their shoes. And when I thought that, God almost immediately put the thought in my mind, don't be afraid to share your shoes. And what God meant by that was, we tend to want to not tell anybody about our problems because it'll keep us from being in this virtual world where everybody's happy. And we tend to not want to share our pain with anybody. But you know what? It shouldn't be that way. We should not be ashamed to share our shoes with other people. In other words, we shouldn't be ashamed that we have problems or that we have pain. We should feel that we're free to share our shoes with people. And so, if you're feeling pain during Christmas or any other time, if you need professional help, please get it. But I think we'd all be better off if we were much freer about sharing our feelings with people and sharing our problems with people, so that we don't get into a place where we feel so much despair and so much depression and so much sadness. So if you're feeling sad, don't feel like you're being a burden to other people when you tell them the way you feel and ask them to just, hey, can you just sit down and let me talk with you? And I hope if I don't expect any of my videos to go viral, but if I could wish that one of my videos would go viral, it would be this one. And so I hope you'll share this with your friends, and so that don't be afraid to share your shoes becomes a catchphrase. And I would love to see this. I would love to see posters on the walls at school saying, don't be ashamed to share your shoes. Because people shouldn't be ashamed to share what's going on in their life with people. Because you know what? We can help each other if we'll be willing to share our shoes, and if we'll be looking for people that need to share their shoes with us. So with that said, I hope you'll share this video with people, but I also hope that you'll stop being afraid to tell people that you need help, or that you just need to talk about something that's going on in your life that they don't know about. And also be willing to listen to people who need to talk to you. So Merry Christmas to everyone, and don't be afraid to share your shoes.